Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Casual Coffee with Ken. My name is Ken, and thank you so much for joining me on this Tuesday, April 21st, I think. Yes, April 21st. Still losing track of the days here, but I don't think I'm alone in that. I hope your week is going well so far. I hope your Monday was as good as, a Monday can ever be, because, Monday. But today's Tuesday, so that automatically makes it better than yesterday. Like I said, I hope everything went well yesterday. Pretty standard day here. Nothing too exciting. I hope you are doing well. If you are new to the show, the whole idea here is just for me to research and find positive, uplifting, informational, and sometimes even inspiring stories to share with you. And I do this to counteract all the negative news that we get hit over the head with every day on the local and the network news stations. So that's it in a nutshell. I do this as much for my own mental health as for any other reason, and I hope you find something to like here today. But yeah, if you are new here also, this is a live show. You can comment during the broadcast, and I can see your comments in the window, and I do appreciate it when people say hi. And if you do choose to say hi, let me know where in the world you are watching from, because I do love to get to know my audience, and it's fun. I've had people in the past watch from Scotland, and a couple from Canada, and I think maybe even Australia one time. So yeah, it's just great. This is, to me, what the internet is all about, and the main appeal for me is that doing a show where we can interact with each other in real time, rather than just a video that you watch after the fact, it really helps with that feeling of isolation that so many of us are dealing with right now. That feeling that you're almost in the same room as someone else. I don't know. It makes a difference for me, and I hope it does for you as well. So, yeah. And you'll notice that I say the word so a lot instead of instead of saying at the end of everything or the beginning of everything. I tend to say so. Might be able to create a drinking game out of that, and it might be hazardous to your health to do so. Maybe don't do that. I will try to work on that. I know it's a problem. Anyway, let us go ahead and just start the show. I usually try to start with my tea of the day, and today is no exception to that. So my tea of the day today is again from David's Tea, and it's the Organic Cream of Earl Grey. I have long been a fan of Earl Grey tea. This one in particular I enjoy because it does have a more of a pronounced vanilla taste to it, but you can still taste the bergamot, and it just enhances the feeling, and I love it. It is very smooth for a black tea that normally is very easy to oversteep. This stuff, if you stay within the guidelines of how long to brew it, I have never had a cup that was bitter. So I really do appreciate this tea. It's delicious. Check out their website over there, davidstea.com. They are not a sponsor of the show, but if anyone from David's Tea ever happens to see this by accident, call me. Yeah, we should talk, because my wife and I are huge fans of your product. And good morning, Sean. How are you today, sir? I hope you're doing well. I hope life up there in Oregon is treating you kindly. and you're surviving as best you can. I know everyone is feeling challenged these days to do so, but welcome. Thank you for joining me as always, my friend. So let's dive right in, shall we, to our assortment of stories today. Let's see, which one do I want to show first? This is a pretty good one. There's a little cafe in San Mateo County called Mint and Honey, and they are one of many, as I'm finding out, that are supporting healthcare workers with food, sandwiches, coffee, all that kind of thing. It's called Mints and Honey, and they're kind of just a small niche cafe. They make combos such as matcha mango lattes and lemon honey jasmine teas. And apparently their plated waffles, avocado toasts, and just regular toast, apparently, are very good and very Instagram worthy. But they have, of course, had to adapt their business with COVID-19. And so they decided that they would go ahead and donate a lot of food and beverages to healthcare workers. You can see there's a picture here of them out in front of Sutter Health in Palo Alto. Wow, look at that. That looks gorgeous. Doesn't that look amazing? Macarons. I am such a huge fan of macarons. And you know where you can get great macarons that are frozen and you just thaw for 30 minutes and eat them? Trader Joe's. Amazing stuff. But yeah, so they decided to provide drinks and meals to healthcare workers in San Mateo County, and they've been doing so for a little over 3 weeks now. And as you might expect, it has been very well received by said healthcare heroes. And it's just nice. I feel it's important to give credit to businesses, especially small businesses. I'm not even talking about gigantic chains like Starbucks that would have, as you would expect, significant disposable income to do things like this. Just a little business that you know has got to be hurting during this time, and yet they still show up to help the most essential of essential workers, in this case, healthcare workers. And so it's important to me to always recognize the efforts of small businesses that are going out of their way when they absolutely do not have to and would rightly have a lot on their mind right now. So yeah, I wanted to share that with you. And as always, I'll go ahead and link to the various stories after the show today for you. There is also good news in that the number of recoveries from the coronavirus worldwide is increasing. And again, it's very important that we acknowledge this because we make a big deal, and rightly so, of the increases of infections and hospitalizations and, of course, unfortunately, the deaths resulting from coronavirus. But it's very important to remember that there are people that are recovering. And so as of right now, this very minute, we have well over 659,000 total recovered across the globe. And that's, again, I feel it's important to highlight that. That doesn't mean that we're ready to change our shelter in place measures. I feel that a large part of the reason that total recovered number is able to climb is the sometimes strict measures that have been put in place to keep people at home and stop the overload of our medical systems. So I'm a big believer in that. In my mind, it's just like the people who are given an antibiotic and you're told to take the entire antibiotic until the end. Even when you start feeling better, don't stop taking it. Take it until it's gone. That's the way I feel about this, the stay-at-home quarantine procedures. You might think that everything's fine right now. It's not. You have to stay the course. We have to keep doing what we're doing so that our hospitals are not overwhelmed with new infections. And yeah, so take the antibiotic until it's gone. That's my 2 cents on that. And this is just kind of a sweet story. A lady named Betty Guttridge from Warwickshire, over there in England, was going to celebrate her 100th birthday recently. And of course, because of the quarantines, she wasn't able to celebrate it with her family. And 100 years, big milestone. Well, the local fire department got wind of this fact and how disappointed she was at not being able to share with her family. And so they wished her well and gave her an impromptu singing of happy birthday. And it's cute. Her daughters apparently live in Hong Kong, and they had planned to visit and celebrate, but that got thrown out the window, obviously. But I just want to say congratulations to her and kudos to the Warwickshire Fire and Rescue Service. Obviously, didn't have to do that, but they chose to, and that was absolutely a touching and wonderful thing that they did. Again, in a time where so many people could just think about themselves and what they have to do immediately in front of themselves, just concentrate on what they have to do day in, day out and not really think outside their bubble. It's really cool, especially when you see public agencies like a fire department or a police department really just going the extra mile to make someone feel good on their 100th birthday. That's amazing to me. I love it. It's just another wonderful example of how we as human beings can be good. We have the innate ability of thinking about other people and having compassion for people who are in unfortunate situations, and that needs to be emphasized. There's a lot of goodness in people, and I truly believe that, and I think we're seeing so many amazing examples of that right now during a horrible time. So any chance I can to highlight those types of stories, I want to do that for you. God, that's good tea. Let's see here. I want to do something real quick. Okay, next story. Oh, this was weird. A lot of people have been very creative with what they have been doing to occupy their time during this pandemic. And this teen girl is absolutely no exception to that. Wow. I cannot believe that she obviously has a passion for her sport, which happens to be rock climbing. And since she could not go to her rock climbing wall, she brought the rock climbing wall into her bedroom. Quite literally, she built her own rock climbing wall. 15 years old, built an 8-foot climbing wall in her bedroom. Apparently, it only took her a week, and she's quite pleased with it. Her dad was quite impressed, apparently. And her name is Erin Sloan, and apparently she said she, quote, just shut my door, put my music in, and started drilling. So there's a whole video where you can see that, what she did, and I'll link to it down below. But yeah, talk about ingenuity and initiative. She has that. Absolutely. Absolutely. Just crazy. I can do a few different things. Building just about anything is not one of those things, and definitely I could not build a rock wall. And she did it right. When you see the pictures and the video, it looks like she took off, I don't know if she took off the drywall or she just put the 2x4s up on the wall to anchor into. And oh, it's just cool. You should go look at the video after the show. Kudos to her. She's going to go far in life because she clearly does not let obstacles stand in her way on any level. Crazy. It's awesome. Crazy awesome. Okay, and this one, it's starting to get better. And by it, I'm referring to the shortage of things like Kleenex and toilet paper. It's taken a while, but there are some places that actually seem to be able to restock and keep supply in inventory. Sean actually told me that he went to Costco yesterday and they just had a wall full of toilet paper, which is fantastic news. But at the outset, when the shortages of toilet paper were a real problem, and it still is in a lot of places, don't get me wrong. We're not recovered yet on that score, not everywhere. But a particular bakery decided to play into that, and it ended up turning things around for their business when they decided to make very realistic looking toilet paper cake. And almost instantly, they sold out of the initial batch of cakes that they made. And they have hundreds of orders for more of these toilet paper cakes. And they even had to hire 2 additional people. They have a 9-member team and hired 2 extras because they have hundreds of orders. They are backed up for weeks and weeks now. So it was kind of a shot in the dark that they even thought to do that, but they did it so well. They executed their plan quickly and efficiently, and they just did an amazing job. So yeah, it's it's crazy. I'll link to the bakery. It's not here in the States. If you use maybe Google instead of Safari like I do, you might have an option on there to translate the page. But I'll go ahead and link to it so you can go take a look. They, of course, make a lot of other tasty treats too, but that's the one that captured the imagination of their customer base there. So I just thought that was clever and good for them. I am so glad to hear that. Again, small businesses have been really hurt by this, and to see one be able to pivot in a direction that ultimately worked out very well for them. It's encouraging. It's great. Needs to be celebrated. We're doing pretty okay on time. There is one more. So this plays into my love of many things artistic. I am not artistically inclined. My wife is. She's a very good artist. But yeah, this appeals to my visual nature. I think everyone's heard of the Matterhorn, not the ride at Disneyland, but the actual mountain, the Matterhorn. Well, they have since March been doing something a little different in our particular town that has a very good view of the Matterhorn, and they've been lighting up the side of the mountain with the most amazing projections. It's so cool, and I'll link to the artist in the description. But his name is Gerry Hofstetter, and this is being done in the mountain town of Zermatt, Switzerland. And the Matterhorn has never quite looked like this. You can see here that they have been projecting all kinds of things, like the planet Earth, various flags on the side of the mountain. It's just breathtaking. It's absolutely beautiful, and I actually have a really good picture from their site here that I want to show you. Isn't that amazing looking? I love projectors anyway. I have a projector. We have a movie screen that we got years ago because I love watching movies on a big screen. I have since I was a little kid. I think I always wanted to own my own movie theater. So I love projectors to begin with, and to see them used in a way, in a manner such as this is just incredible to me. It's amazing. I love it. I love everything about this. And you can actually watch this happen in real time. They have webcams on their site. So if you can figure out, the time difference, you can actually see the illumination take place in real time. And it's just brilliant. It's beautiful to look at. And I think now, especially, we need to rediscover all the beauty and all the various forms that beauty takes in this world. And that is, to me, that's beautiful. Might not be everybody's cup of tea, I get that, but I love stuff like this. Just blows my mind and kind of inspires me, because I'm weird like that. But there we go, and that will bring us to the end of the show for today, Tuesday. Thank you so much for spending time with me. Even if you didn't comment, you're just watching, or you're watching the replay of this, I appreciate you taking the time to stop by and spend part of your day with me. It's great. I love it. Thank you. And speaking of that, if you did like today's show and you think your friends would like it, do me a favor. After the broadcast, it stays up as a link. Go ahead and share that link with your friends over on Twitter, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitch, because I think this is a fun way to start the day. That's why I do it. And like I said, I do this as much for my own mental health as anything else. And if you think it's a fun idea to have a live show that focuses on positivity and the beautiful and fun things that are happening in the world right now, do me a favor and just share it with people so more people know that they have an alternative. And I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And that's it. I will see you all back here tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. And until then, I'm Ken McKim. You take care. And remember, when you can choose, and you can, when you can choose to be anything in this world, choose to be kind to yourself and to others, because right now, more than ever, kindness really matters. All right. Take care, everybody. Thank you.